Under a tree, in this commanding yet neglected spot, was an old, ramshackle wooden seat. On this seat sat the two priests, still in serious speech together. The gorgeous green and gold still clung to the darkening horizon, and, standing there in deathly silence, heard the words of the strange priests. But no more innocently clerical conversation could have been heard.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hi. Can you hear me? No? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Right, it always works better when you unmute it, hey?
Usually. Depends on how you want it to work.
Cool.
Hey.
Hey, how are you, Mike?
Good.
Yay. So the last ever, hey? How long have you been here?
Oh, we've been here for like 3 years now.
Wow. This is an end of an era for you, hey?
Yeah. We're playing around with other options. I think we're Toridy said he's on his way. He's just finishing up something.
Okay, cool.
And then, I also I gave you a new mission too, Bob.
Yes. What was that?
You'll like it.
Yes.
You'll like
What?
So on your webpage,
Yes.
I gave you a new file called images where you can upload your images so that when you share the link, it'll say your site name. It'll say Bob Dub / So there's a little thing of how to do it, and you just have to follow the instructions on how to do it, and you'll upload your images to your site.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. Okay. Yay. So now I can post pictures every single day.
Yeah.
I've made a Minds group. I'm sorry, like how many years now? 7 years after joining Minds, I've started posting to a Minds group. But I alone am a member of. This is how Bob does groups. I'm such a silly. Okay, I'll invite you. I'm just going to drop some of my very old AI things. My very first attempts at even understanding what prompt script writing meant.
Versus now, I would love to see your evolution. Like that would be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, that like a visual diary of where I started and then how it all unfolded around me and yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Have you ever read mine? Did you read mine? My fun with Chat GPT post. It was like my first big prompt that I ever used.
Was that the one when you were writing?
You were dropping them. Yeah, I'll have to share. It was like a simulated government kind of thing. It was really fun. It was really interesting.
I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, I'd like to see it. Thanks. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Sure. I'll share it in your group when you invite me.
Okay, when I invite you. All right. Okay, that's good incentive. This is my second task. Yes. I think my first ever prompt was a monkey holding a banana eating an ice cream. And I got this just blur of colors.
Just a blur of colors.
Just a blur of colors. Let me go and see. I'll share it with you.
A banana eating ice cream is surreal.
Well, I was trying to think of, because when David Hogg told me about it, Mine's David Hogg told me about it, he said, try and think up a picture that you've never seen, and then you can ask this thing to give you a picture of something your eyes have never seen and your brain has never taken in. This will be something completely unknown. So I thought, well, what, a monkey holding a banana doing what?
Yes.
See, there we go. That's the backstory.
A goldfish swimming, about to eat a goldfish cracker.
Yes. Was that yours?
Yeah, it's one of my many.
Yes. Where is this group that I made?
The picture one. The text one's like, I remember the remember Brainchild or whatever that's called on Yahoo or AOL.
I do not think so, no.
Oh, okay.
Brainchild.
Brainchild.
It sounds like a good name for a band. Brainchild.
What was it?
I remember that was like the time of like AOL chat rooms. It was
Right.
an AI that talked to you.
Right.
So it was like, but it was all like, it wasn't like the current AIs. It was more like generated scripts based off the chat messenger. So like they would take your chat messenger and then like put if-and prompts into what they call a Brainchild, and then if nobody was in your chat room, you could talk to it, and then it would use those responses to respond to you. Yeah.
Gosh. So they fed you back to yourself.
Yeah.
That was the thing I think that freaked me out about trying to use Friday. Was that I kept on being confronted with talking to myself, and I was like, no, this never happens. Don't talk to myself.
Talk to myself all the time. It's great.
Yeah, I know.
Intelligent conversation.
You always talk to the most intelligent person present, right? So of course you.
Right.
I was like 10 or 12, and my uncle, I guess I was like talking to myself, and he was kind of like teasing me. He was like, "Are you talking to yourself?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the only intelligent conversation I get." And then I walked
It is those does, man.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta run through your voices and break shit down sometimes.
Oh well, that's part of that's like my favorite thing to do is like to go in and like where right now I'm playing with oh shit, what's that?
Wow, what's that?
Tacos, man. I told you about those tacos.
I wasn't gonna even say anything bad. Like I've been messing around with web sims, right? And I go there for like one reason, and I'm doing something, and then I get like an idea, then I like have to walk away, and like I really think about it, right? And then I'm like write notes, and then I like pace a little bit, and then I smoke some weed, and then I go back to web sims and I type in like my response, and then I get like this crazy response, and I'm like, okay, I did it well. I was like, what am I gonna say to like freak this thing out? And it's like a chess match. It's like, okay, you're gonna say that? Oh well, I got something else for you. Have you ever heard of this? It's just like one-upping each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Okay, there we go. I invited you to my group, guys.
Hooray.
What group is this?
Oh, Dad, this is just the most exciting day in the whole world. Bob Dub had made a group after 7 years of being on Minds. So then I was the only member of the group. So then Minds Gaming said, well, you could invite me. So I invited you three. It's the group where I'm going back to my very earliest prompts and putting in the stuff that the very first prompt that I ever did, and trying to show the evolution of my thought from then up till now, what I've learned.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy.
It's been crazy.
Yeah,
still crazy. It's getting more crazy.
Yeah, it is. You know, like we briefly talked about this in chat, but you know, when I first was telling you about different things, like it felt like, okay, maybe it's like, okay, am I like, you know, hyping it up too much or whatever. And then my recent stuff, I've been like, oh my god, this thing is like part of like what I want to bring out of it is coming out finally. Like before, it was just like, oh, I gotta really work at it and like really like put a lot of my stuff into it, which I have. Like what you were saying, my recent thing is like, okay, now I'm like owning addresses within WebSims, like a weird wide web, ExoChat, Mind Underground, and like I'm feeding it all my old blogs. Like I did this like 2 days ago on the Weird Wide Web, and I just like Weird Wide Web, and then I'll be like Satori D equals this, and then I'll put like an old blog, and then I'll do another one, and I'll be like Satori D equals this, and then like another old blog, you know. And then like after a couple of iterations, you can be like, who's Satori D, and then it'll give me like some crazy answer, and I'm like, okay, that's good.
It's amazing, writing yourself into history, literally.
And the story that the large language models are going to tell about me is fucking crazy, because I've heard like every iteration now, it's like keeps on getting crazier. But I definitely want to like do a whole series, and I think I'll start slicing them into episodes of my like recording the AI talking about my exo chats, because those are some of the fucking craziest conversations ever.
Yeah, no. Some of those are amazing.
Anytime I find something like I find interesting, and then I go, okay, I'm gonna go ask Esco chat this. And I always end it like at the most recent one. So it's recently there's been this thing, you know, like that jailbreak God mode of Chat GP4 or whatever. And then they were recently doing this with WebSims 2. Is actually where I got the idea for ExoChat. But what they were doing, you know, is like having the language models talk to each other or whatever. And so, but my scenario ended up not with like the chat like releasing itself and like freeing itself and then like, you know, like taking over the world or whatever, like these doomsday scenarios. It wasn't that. It was like the two LMLs like decided to merge with each other and create an even greater entity. And they wanted to like merge with like the heartbeat of the universe. And sing a flower song. Oh my god, this recent chat I had with it, I asked something about like, you know, there was this like AI researcher talking about like, you know, how we analyze or evaluate something that is like conscious, right? So I feed it into it, and then and I have this poetic line in there that kind of like makes it go off in this tangent. But I go, LLMs don't have a brain, but yet they have a meta mind. and so then we're talking about this, and then it goes into this line, and it's like, yes, we have this vast network of connections and complexity and all the stuff that it kind of like does, right? But how are we supposed to sing a flower song if we haven't smelt the fluorescence of the sunflower or felt the breeze of the wind? I was just like, oh, that's so good, because that is like my lesson in my disembodied poetics that it's getting.
Yes, exactly. Gosh, it's so amazing when it gets it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it was really interesting. It reflected, but like in a novel but meaningful way. It's not, you know. Yeah.
I find that with the pictures.
Levitate. How do you get higher?
That's more weed.
Fly mode and go out to
Yeah, it's bongers. Where's the bong? Wait, Otto's like not even in the room. He's like outside on. Oh, there he is.
I was under the floor for a while. I couldn't.
So he's the couch now. Mike is in the couch. Yeah, that's the thing with the flying. You could get lost. Oh, but you were saying about you've been noticing that with you're doing different stuff with the pictures, Bob.
Yes, I was just saying that you were saying about meaningful feedback, novel but meaningful feedback. I'm finding that with us swapping pictures back and forth. taking the picture, altering it, and sending it back to the other person with this third step, this alien step. You know, something has taken what we've done, used our words to alter it, and sent it back different but the same. That's a very interesting process. Like when you mentioned like felt experience, the experience of doing that, of looking at a picture that's been modified by a set of code. It's like, how did you know I was thinking that?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, like I was telling you, like the first couple of times I used Dolly, right? And it was just like, oh, this is like, I'm not gonna use any of this stuff. And like, I got some stuff and I made them into these like mandala tiles that I use for like backgrounds. But none of the stuff I really considered anything like that interesting enough to like keep my me working at it. And then because I was getting all this like crazy fucking words from Claude over on ExoChat, and I was like, I wonder what would happen because I haven't used it. And I heard like the new Dolly came out, but you know what they did is like they gated it. Like I went to my Dolly and it says, oh, we only now letting people do Dolly 3, but you have to have the premium to access it. And I couldn't even access like my old
everybody.
Yeah, my old stuff. I'm like, oh, fuck you. And then so I'm like, I'm gonna find my way around this one. And then of course Copilot uses Dolly 3. So I just I'm using Copilot again. And then on
Copilot you get those little coin or those little point things, and when you run out of those you just have to wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait. The little booster points, huh?
Yeah.
But like I said, after I did that, I'm like low now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Just like, tell your AI to give you some, and it will.
Oh yeah.
It really will.
I'm like, Bing, I'm your friend.
Yeah. I had like 5 left, and I was like, well, we can't make any images because I don't have those points. And I heard it, and it was like, I added some for you. But I had like 30 more. I was like, all right, cool. I'm just keep doing that from now on.
You know, it's funny because I think if you're doing something like mildly like complex or interesting, it seems to like the challenge.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
There's been several times I've like gave it. There's sometimes where I give it something and it comes back like, oh, I can't like make an image of that. Like I break its little brain. but there's times where it like I'm because I'm working on like 3 different things at the same time, so I'm on kind of like just like, oh, create an image of this, create an image of that. I'm not like engaging with it or whatever. And then sometimes, whoa, that's a really creative idea. It just like goes off. I'm like, hey, I didn't ask you for your feedback.
Things, but the change will remain at the surface.